Do the vaccines contain microchips? Dr. Qasim, do you want to take that one?
Can I take that one?
Yeah, well, I was going to say, well, I got no other thing to say on that.
Yeah, I'll take
Go on, Dr. Naseem.
I think my mobile phone's got a better microchip than the vaccine. I think if somebody wanted to trace me, they'd probably trace me on my WhatsApp or trace me on my Facebook or trace me on whatever I use rather than inject me with a vaccine. So, no.
And just to make it, I'm not trying to make this like harder or anything, but you know, my wife's on Amazon and she's on my Amazon, and I'm not sure she's listening. She'll kill me if I admit this. She buys something on Amazon, and because it's my Amazon account, if I go on Facebook, I start getting adverts of what she's buying, and I know exactly what she's bought, even without looking at the email. You know, we have already have got tracks and traces already in place. You know, we do not need to be vaccinating people to track them or to trace them or to do whatever. No, there's no chip in the vaccine.
Can I just add here? I think that statistically, people are caught on camera 150 times a day. Now that people are not going out due to COVID, it's not as much, but statistically 150 times a day. So if somebody wants to really track, you know, your Amazon devices and your Alexas, I've got 4 of them in my house. If somebody wants to hack into my house and see and hear what I'm doing and saying, then they can. So we're all everywhere, we're surrounded. But I think there is a conspiracy mindset amongst the Muslim community, I have to say, where everything is first and foremost, anything from the government, straight away people just freeze and think that the government is out there for people. I think I mean, certainly the government, there is a trust issue there, but there is also a lack of confidence as far as tawakkul is concerned, right? We live in this perpetual fear, and we generate these conspiracy theories to make us feel good. So, for example, when the COVID-19 virus, we went into lockdown, people were saying, "Oh, it was 5G, and it was made it's a biohazard, and it was made." And I was saying to people, "Okay, let's for 1 minute accept that this is a human-made COVID vaccine. So what? It's still killing people. Does he make it better then?" So my point here is, I think that we need to have a bit more taqwa, and we need to have a bit more tawakkul in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because at the end of the day, if there's anyone who is all seeing, it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we need to have the resilience. We need to build this tawakkul, that it doesn't matter what disease there is, or it doesn't matter what vaccine there is. At the end of the day, it is Allah who gives diseases, and it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who takes away that disease. Without Allah's orders, nothing will happen. And I think that is the thing that we need to be conscious of. And ta'bud Allah ka'annaka tarah, that you worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in such a way as if you can see Allah. And if you can't see Allah, then at least know that Allah is watching you. That is the thing that we need to be worried about. As far as all of these conspiracy theories, they will make you go mad. There's a hadith in Sahih al-Bukhari where the companions asked, "Ya Rasulullah, when is the day of judgment?" And the Prophet ﷺ said, "What have you done to prepare for the judgment?" In another hadith, the Prophet ﷺ says, "If the day of judgment was to come, and one of you is planting a tree, let him carry on planting a tree." Meaning, you do your thing. If you're not doing anything wrong, and if you have your confidence and tawakkul in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, nothing can harm you. That's my 2 pence on this.
Sheikh, quickly, just for the people not familiar with the Islamic terminology, what is the meaning of taqwa and tawakkul?
Taqwa basically means being conscious of God. We have a morality where our morality basically allows us to do things and not to do things because we are in the presence and in the grace and glory of God. Tawakkul basically means to rely on God and to have the belief that everything that happens in this world happens with God's permission. Everything that doesn't happen in this world also happens because God doesn't allow it. We find a very famous hadith in Sunan Tirmizi, one of the books of prophetic tradition, where the Prophet says to his younger nephew, وَعْلَمْ لَوْ أَنَّ النَّاسَ اسْتَمَعُوا عَلَىٰ أَن يَنْفَعُوكَ بِشَيْءٍ لَن يَنْفَعُوكَ إِلَّا مَا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَكَ. That fear Allah and be conscious of God, because know that if the entire humanity were to gather to harm you in some way, they won't be able to harm you other than if Allah allows it. And if the entire humanity was to gather to benefit you in one way, then they won't be able to benefit you other than what God has willed for you. So we have this higher level of medicine, and all of these things are good. These are only causes and effects, but at the end of the day, as Muslims, we also rely in God. And those are the kind of things that we need to rely on, rather than trying to pacify ourselves through conspiracy theories.
Okay.